Now, here in Singapore, the first batch of volunteers has been dosed with a vaccine being developed by Duke-NUS Medical School and US company Arcturus Therapeutics. The first phase of the trial involved around 100 adults between 21 and 55 years old.
Each person was injected with a single shot of the vaccine named Duke-NUS Covid-19. The trial is being administered by the SingHealth Investigational Medicine Unit and is expected to continue until October.
We're now joined by the Deputy Clinical and Scientific Director at the SingHealth Unit, Associate Professor Jenny Loh. Prof, welcome. Now, Prof, what criteria do you look out for when selecting these volunteers for the COVID-19 vaccine trial?
Yeah, so for vaccine trials, in general, we recruit fairly healthy individuals. But if certain individuals have medical issues present, then we will make an evaluation to make sure that these medical issues are well controlled, for example, with medication, before we proceed with further screening tests that are required by the trial. For this particular COVID-19 vaccine trial, again, we are recruiting fairly healthy people. And the individuals we are looking for need to be between the age of 21 and 80 years of age. And they must not have previously contracted COVID-19. If they meet these basic criteria, we will then invite them to come to SingHealth Investigational Medicine Unit for consent taking. And after they have signed the consent, we will then proceed to do further screening tests on these individuals. And if they pass all the tests, then they will be enrolled into the clinical trial.
Right. Well, Prof, let's go into the actual Duke-NUS Covid-19 vaccine. How is it intended to work?
Yep, so this vaccine is intended to produce long-lasting immunity after injection by training our immune system to make antibodies and T cells against the virus that causes COVID-19. And we are hoping that one dose injection will offer protection in the long run.
Prof, now that the first step has been made, so what's next? Could you take us through the timeline involved?
Sure. So we started vaccinating the first batch of volunteers just a couple of days ago. And so the first phase of the early stage of the trial is expected to complete by end of October 2020. If the results are promising, then we will move on to a larger phase trial, which will begin before the end of 2020. Now, in the larger clinical trial, what we typically call the phase 3 stage of the trial, the main intention is to study the efficacy of the vaccine, meaning that we want to see whether the vaccine will actually reduce the occurrence of COVID-19 in those individuals that have been vaccinated using this particular vaccine that we are testing. And because phase 3 trial usually will need to recruit thousands of participants, then it is likely that this trial will also be conducted across more than one country, just so that we will have a better chance of studying the occurrence of these events that we want to observe.
Right. Well, Prof, if everything goes according to plan and the trial phases yield successful results, how early then could we see this vaccine be made available for the masses?
So optimistically, we are hoping that if this vaccine is going to be effective, they will be made available for the public by the second half of 2021.
Well, thank you so much, Prof, and definitely all the best. And thank you for taking time to speak with us. We've been speaking to Associate Professor Jenny Loh, Deputy Clinical and Scientific Director at the SingHealth Investigational Medicine Unit.